guys, you can't just leave it and think that you're going to be all right with it. You got to spend time in there. You got to grab a guy and you got to play in there. You got to really look at that stuff. Because you're going to get stuck. You're going to get stuck on shots. You're going to get buried. It's going to happen. Not everybody takes great shots all the time. You're going to have predicaments that you're going to have to wrestle out of. And that's the sport. What do you do when you're in bad position? How do you go from bad to good quick? And that's what makes the difference in matches. You know, you can take a bad shot and still get away with it. You know, if you correct your position, you do the things that we were working on. You know, can you solve a guy when he's up in the air? Can you get out of predicaments when he's got you arm trapped and when you're trying to backdoor him? And that becomes an art, really. It's one of those things in the sport that you got to master. Otherwise, you know, your shot's a waste. Right? You're only as good as your finish, right? You know, and then that's it. You can't score points without finishing. Okay? And asking questions is big. How many of you guys been asking questions this week? Asking a lot of questions, it's big. You know, we can do our thing, we can show you all the stuff in the world, and think and assume that you got it. That doesn't mean you have it. You got to ask. Coach, show me this. You know, I heard a couple guys this morning. You know, hey, look over here, Coach. I need you over here. That's important. You got to do that. Make sure you have. How many of you have been keeping notebooks? Raise your hand if you're keeping a notebook. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If you don't keep a notebook, how are you going to remember all the stuff you saw? You getting good instruction all week? You guys agree with that? Okay. Can you remember everything that's getting shown?
Guys, you can go to Flow Wrestling. I got everything on the Raritan page. You can go. It's going to be there. All you got to do is become a fan of the Raritan team.
There you go. Perfect.
I'm a big fan of Raritan.
That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
I heard he's transferring.
Coming?
Tell us how you come.
You guys might not hit, and you won't. There's no way you're going to hit every move you've ever seen. Okay? I mean, Coach Nuse wrestled around the time I did. He was good at a few things, but you know, the few things he did really well. You know, and he was good at those couple things, and I was the same way. A few things I did well. There's a lot of moves that we saw. We were at camps together when we were kids, and you know, wrestled with each other a lot. But I'll tell you what, just because we never hit all that stuff didn't mean we didn't get in positions where we were familiar with it. Does that make sense? So if I get somewhere where I've never been before, you can say in a match, I don't hit that, but you know, I've been here before. I think I can get myself out of this. I know what's going on. You know, you write down stuff, you take notes, you remember, you refer to it. Read your own notes. That's just like being in school. You got to keep a library of stuff. Now, I'm learning every day. I'm 36 now, and you know, wrestling coach here, and I'm learning constantly. I'm seeing new things all the time. You know, and there's no way this memory can lock it all in. I got to write stuff down. I got to refer to it. I got to view a lot of stuff, and it keeps me, you know, on top of what I think can help my athletes excel. It's important to do that. It's like our Constitution. I'm a history teacher. You know our Constitution, right? It's a working document. It continues to grow. As the country gets older, the Constitution grows. It gets bigger and bigger. We get new laws that come into effect. The Constitution continues to grow. You got to have a wrestling Constitution. Continue to get that book. You know, we started out as a little country. We're this big. All right, the law of our land had a lot of written documents, and you know, 10 laws for the citizens. What do we call those?
Amendments.
Yeah, our first 10 amendments are known as our what? Bill of Rights. There you go. Right? Now there's 27 of them. That grows throughout our history. Right? And does your book grow? No, you guys don't even have one. You've got to get a book and grow. You know, by the time you're, you know, older, some part, you be coach and say, man, look at my Constitution, man. My book's now this big. All those moves that you've been learning, taught by your coaches, things you can pick up. You guys follow that? Yeah. Maybe, you know, it's a suggestion not to do it. I think it's a good idea to do that. How many people like wrestling on top?